A buyer recently told me, I have one budget. Why does it feel like I'm shopping in three different worlds? That's the essence of Northern Virginia in one sentence. I am your real estate guide with DCI Homes, and today we're comparing Fairfax, Loudoun, and Arlington. This isn't about declaring one area better than another. It's about illustrating how the same budget can lead to very different trade-offs. Let's begin by looking at Arlington. In Arlington, you're paying for proximity, shorter commutes, metro access, walkability, restaurants, and established neighborhoods. This often translates to smaller square footage, older homes, and heightened competition for properties near metro corridors or sought-after school zones. Fairfax County serves as a middle ground for many buyers. It boasts a vast range of options: single-family homes in Burke and Springfield, townhomes in Fairfax and Centerville, condos near Tysons and Reston, and luxury pockets in McLean, Great Falls, and Oakton. Fairfax is appealing because it allows buyers to explore different lifestyles without leaving the county, from suburban yards to urbanizing Tysons and established neighborhoods with mature trees. Loudoun County often provides more space for your money, especially if you're open to newer construction or larger homes farther west. Areas like Ashburn, Leesburg, Sterling, Aldie, Brambleton, and South Riding each have their own unique charm. Loudoun also has a booming tech economy, strong planned communities, and Silver Line transit connections. The mistake many buyers make is focusing solely on the monthly payment. A better question is, what lifestyle does that payment include? Consider your commute time, desired space, preference for walkability versus a yard, comfort with condo fees or HOA rules, and whether newer construction justifies a longer drive. Would you prefer to renovate an older home in a closer neighborhood or invest in a newer home farther out? Northern Virginia is not a single market. It's a collection of interconnected micromarkets. A smart search begins with lifestyle, then budget, neighborhoods, and finally property type. If you're relocating to Northern Virginia, DCI Homes can guide you through the real trade-offs before you start touring homes. Now let's slow down and turn this into a practical guide. This matters not just because it's interesting real estate information, but because it influences decisions involving hundreds of thousands of dollars. In Northern Virginia, small details can significantly alter your strategy. One street may have different buyer demand than another, one condo building may have a different resale profile, and one contract deadline can shift leverage between buyer and seller. This video aims to help you understand how the same monthly payment can buy different lifestyles. Imagine a relocating family comparing a smaller Arlington condo, a Fairfax townhouse, and a larger Loudoun detached home. This scenario may seem straightforward, but as decisions unfold, details become crucial. Buyers may wonder, can I afford this? Sellers may ask, will buyers see the value? Investors might think, does this make sense after expenses? Homeowners may simply want to avoid costly mistakes. That's the purpose of this episode. The first key point is local context. Northern Virginia is not a single market. Areas like Fairfax, Arlington, Alexandria, Falls Church, Loudoun, and others can behave differently. Even within the same jurisdiction, property types can yield different answers. A condo buyer faces different risks than someone purchasing a detached home. So, when you encounter a simple answer online, treat it as a starting point, not a complete strategy. Let's look at three local examples. First, consider walkability and metro access in Arlington. This is influenced by commutes, school choices, property condition, HOA rules, monthly payment, or narrow inventory. Second, think about the variety and mature neighborhoods in Fairfax. The numbers may look similar, but the decision-making process differs due to lifestyle, rules, and buyer pools. Third, examine newer homes and planned communities in Loudoun. Here, many discover that the best decision isn't always the most obvious one. The right answer depends on the property, timeline, contract terms, cash position, and long-term plans. The second key point is that real estate decisions combine numbers and behavior. Numbers matter: price, payment, taxes, insurance, HOA fees, repairs, closing costs, rent potential, sale proceeds, and cash reserves. But market behavior matters too. Buyers can be nervous, sellers emotional, appraisals may fall short, and listings can create urgency or doubt. A strong negotiator understands both sides. Before making a decision, ask, what are the numbers saying and what is the market behavior indicating? The third key point is risk management. A good real estate plan doesn't eliminate every risk, as that's impossible. Instead, it identifies significant risks early and determines which are acceptable. Purchase risks include financing, appraisal, inspection, title, insurance, HOA documents, resale value, and repairs. Sale risks involve pricing too high, launching prematurely, accepting the wrong offer, or failing to disclose issues. A smart plan makes risks visible before deadlines, not after. Now let's discuss common mistakes. Mistake number one is shopping by county name only. This often occurs when someone relies on headlines, social media clips, or advice from different markets. Northern Virginia has its own rules, buyer behavior, and local price pressures. A strategy that works elsewhere may not apply here. Mistake number 2 is overlooking commute time as part of the cost. This is easy to do because real estate can feel emotional. When people desire a house or want to finalize a sale, they may skip the step of checking details. Instead, ask for supporting documents, compare numbers, and confirm deadlines before committing. Mistake number 3 is comparing list prices without considering HOA fees, taxes, and maintenance. This is where professional guidance becomes essential. The goal isn't to scare viewers, but to help them avoid preventable issues. If it impacts legal rights, taxes, financing, zoning, or performance, viewers should consult the right professional before acting. For buyers, the takeaway is don't view the search as just bedrooms, bathrooms, and price, and not just focus on the highest number. What's the full monthly cost? What are the rules? What repairs are likely? What's the exit strategy? How long do you plan to own it? How competitive is the property? A buyer who answers these questions before making an offer is usually calmer and more strategic. For sellers, the takeaway is equally important. A seller's role isn't just to list the property. They must position the home so the right buyer understands it quickly. This means accurate pricing, preparing the property, making access easy, organizing documents, and choosing the strongest offer terms, and not just focus on the highest number. For investors or long-term homeowners, the question is whether the decision still makes sense under conservative assumptions. What if repairs exceed expectations? What if rent is lower? What if resale takes longer? A strong decision shouldn't rely solely on the best-case scenario. It should remain reasonable under less than perfect conditions. Here is your quick viewer checklist. 1. Rank commute, school needs, space, age of home, and walkability. 2. Calculate total monthly ownership cost. 3. Tour one example in each county before deciding. 4. Separate lifestyle fit from price excitement. If you do these 4 things, you'll be ahead of many who make decisions based on emotion or rough guesses. To summarize, the right real estate decision is specific. It's specific to the neighborhood, property type, price point, contract, financing, timeline, and decision maker. That's why generic advice often falls short. Viewers need a clear process, not more noise. Before we close, remember, this video is for educational purposes only. For legal, tax, lending, zoning, or contract questions, confirm details with the appropriate professional. Real estate content should empower better questions, not replace professional advice. If you're planning to buy, sell, invest, relocate, or make any real estate decision in Northern Virginia, DCI Homes can help you examine the details that truly matter. Reach out for a property-specific strategy, not a one-size-fits-all answer.